Hey, welcome to the best morning show on the planet, going on daily. I am your host, Ron Rigo, and of course, my co host, Rick Rosner. How are you today?
Woo, man. It's Saturday morning, Ron. Best
Yeah.
day, best morning of the week. Come on, everybody's happy on Saturday.
Yeah. So Mike and Becky have, you know, let the wild team loose today. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun.
Always.
We're gonna make sure that you are entertained out there. Um, and we have such a great show. We have some great topics that we're gonna be talking about. And the show name is Seven. Not only is it our seventh episode, but there is a story about Seven coming
Ooh.
up. So I think you're gonna love it. It's sad, but yet heartwarming, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of borderline on that thing.
Ron, we're getting all
Yeah,
sappy right
TikTok.
now. Phew.
TikTok story. Like, this is a news source, right? We've got Brats. Do you remember the Brat Pack?
Oh my.
Oh yeah, we got some updates on that. Top five 80s Saturday cartoons.
Oh
Oh,
my, we're going
love it,
back
love it.
in the
That was
vault.
Now I'm dating myself here, but that was like the end run for me watching cartoons on Saturdays. It was the end run. I
But it
was
was so
in my
exciting.
teens back then. Just saying.
All right,
And
Captain
of
Ron.
course, big box office battles. You're going to be astonished when you find out what movies that I chose for this category. Um, and who they went up against. And that is the intriguing thing. You don't realize how big a movie is until who you see it's up against. So, so we have all that and a bag of chips. And what better thing to have with chips than soda?
Or they say nutritious soda, right?
Yeah, they say it's
The
nutritious.
alternative.
Let us know what this is. I mean, you're talking Poppy.
Yeah, Poppy. I tell you what, it was in the news this week. There is a lady with a big lawsuit that actually going very far that she has proof, and they did some research that there's only 2 grams of prebiotic fiber
Right.
in each drink. So people's thinking they're taking these drinks and getting all their vitamins for the day and that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, Ron, all these drinks, and I love going to the gym. There's no way you could put all these minerals and all these stuff in one liquid drink and just you drink it, and it tastes like soda. I mean,
Right.
now it's coming out. I mean, back in the 80s, like we're going to have 80s all day. It's like, seriously, Surge and all that other stuff in the 80s and 90s, that was all sugar and we drank it, right? Nobody
Yeah.
said anything. Did they say a word about that?
No, no. Back then, it was just, oh, this tastes good.
It was like a label that says, warning, can you handle this? It was almost like a temptation. Did you know that? They didn't put like warning labels like don't drink it. It's like, challenge me. And then, was it Surge or Jolt? Was like, they took it
Jolt.
on. Dude, that would like, seriously, it would shake you. Did you ever have one?
Oh, I used to drink that all the time. I loved it.
Dude, what was that? Like 10 cups of coffee in it?
Oh, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, getting back to Poppy, it's like big time now. And it's just not that. It's all these drinks are now becoming under like, pressure now because they need to see, because the FDA can only do so much, Ron. You know
Yeah.
that.
Right.
They only I did some research on this. They can only regulate so much of this. So there's other ingredients that you can throw in there. You can claim this and they'll take your word sometimes for this, which is kind of scary. It's like, what the hell are you putting in this?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, at the end of the day, man, you're not getting all your vitamins. So I'm not a fan of Poppy, to be honest with you. I don't know if you've had it or not. It's
I
okay. But
tried it once.
I mean, if you're just going to do that, hell, just drink yourself a soda and call it a day, one, right? And then run around
Yeah.
the block.
Yeah. I mean, most of my drink of choice is water. I
H2O
drink that
water.
like 90% of the time. But there's certain meals that you like to have a soda with. So I will bust out a diet or a zero cola. I won't say which ones because until they sponsor us, they're not getting the name out there.
That's right. We'll take anybody. Gatorade, any of the names. Come on.
You want your brand named, then it has to be a sponsorship right there. So, of course, we're doing the story on Poppy, but it's not really a positive story on Poppy.
No, it isn't. And then they were going back to, remember Slice? Now we're going back.
Yeah.
Slice actually had 10 to 15% juice in it.
Yeah.
They found out now it only had 1%. You know that.
Yeah. No,
I've read all this research. So they're researching this now where everything that we had back in the day was like a lie.
Yeah. And, it's even expanded to like the diet sodas because what they're putting in it could get banned. And, we might be without diet colas and stuff like that.
You know what? Diet soda is actually worse for you than other sodas because of the alternatives. And if you go to other countries like the UK, half the sodas are banned that we have here. Is that crazy?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. There's a lot of foods that are banned elsewhere, and this country is allowing these companies to basically roam free and at the cost of humans.
And well, you know what happens then? We're not going to tie it into, but you get sick. That's healthcare, right? Healthcare is up, skyrocketed up. So at the end of the day, it's like, wow, you get sick. And at the end of the day, you see a lot of people now, our ages, are getting like different things, diabetes, cancer, and stuff like that. Is it from the foods we ate now and back in the day? I mean, seriously, you got to.
I mean, to me, that's what it must be. Because it's just more and more younger and younger. And, I mean, between the things that we have to live with, whether it's power plants and stuff like that, and then you throw the food that we're eating and who knows what's in it. I mean, we don't know. No. I mean, they can put ingredients all the time, but then they come up with different words to disguise it.
Well, even the Parmesan, that's got like sawdust and other things in it. I've done something on YouTube about that. You cannot put cheese out there and just put it on the counter. It has to be refrigerated, right? So where's that coming from? Yeah. And they put that substance so it doesn't stick together because cheese sticks together, right? It's crazy. So yeah, getting back to the drinks, I think they're all like, it's a big marketing thing. I mean, the rock stars, all them were, and then they got pushed out, a lot of the energy drinks because of heart attacks. Yeah. So where do you go with this? I mean, who do you trust? I think at the end of the day, it says, is it good for your gut? I said, if you have a gut feeling, you don't think you should drink it, don't do it.
Exactly. And it's so minimum. You have to drink like 4 or 5 sodas to even get any kind of beneficial factor in it. And that's like a trace.
Yeah.
It's like a trace.
So we'll keep tabs on this lawsuit here. It's getting pretty hot and heavy here with this week. So they're going to continue this next week. So we'll see, man.
Yeah. Look, you are watching us on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting, Facebook at RI Broadcasting, Twitch at RI_broadcasting, and Twitter at Broadcasting RI. We are live also on Kick at Rhode Island Broadcasting. So you can watch us live on 5 different platforms right now. And, we're going to expand. We're going to expand. It's going to be everywhere. Everywhere.
You can only go up, Ron. You can only go up.
That's right. That's right. And so, if you are on Facebook, make sure you drop us some stars to help support the show. And Twitch, my friends on Twitch, drop those bits. Those bits mean something. And if you can't, we have a Patreon now that we just started. So we're going to try to get more and more content on Patreon. Like, I guess they do videos that you can buy.
Get out. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm afraid to put like clips from the show because then do they own the show?
Yeah, you better watch that. It's just like Facebook. Anything you put on any social media platforms, they own your pictures and everything.
Yeah, so I gotta figure out, okay, what can we put on there? But we got t-shirts coming soon. We're gonna have t-shirts soon.
Oh boy.
So nice t-shirts. We're gonna, once it becomes available, once they arrive, it will be on Patreon. That's how you will be able to get them. But Rick, we still have a lot to discuss, and we're up to the reason why I named the show Seven. And that is for this little guy right down there at the bottom, right underneath you. Seven is the canine that stars in The Walking Dead, the final last three seasons. Seven was in, I believe, 29 episodes. You don't realize how much he was in the show, but 29 episodes is quite a lot. But Dog Seven passed away, and and a lot of the stars from Walking Dead have been posting, good times and stuff like that. Whether it was Norman Reedus, who obviously was really with that dog on a daily basis, and it gives you another side of the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is, I mean, come on, it's a dog, and the impact that it made on those stars really, really is touching. I mean, because you hear the horror stories, working with animals and kids, right?
Oh boy.
But when you see pictures of the dog like leaning back, licking Norman Reedus's face, I mean, those are heartwarming and wonderful stories that these stars had with this animal. And it's a sad thing that that Seven passed away.
You know what's funny is, what was the salary? Do you know anything about Seven? Is there?
No, they didn't release what he died from. I mean, I'm sure, the dogs, they don't last, 50 years. It's like 12 to 16 years. And you got to think it was on the show for 3 years. So how old was he when he got to the show? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he must have been in that general area, already, because that takes years of training for a dog to do this.
Oh my! And then the attachment from everybody on the show, the attachment you get with this dog. I mean, you're touching it, petting it all the time. It's actually in the show with you. It's like it's part of your family.
Yeah, and everybody, like Jeffrey Dean Morgan was posting about it. Everybody. It's it's part of the family. It's part of the Walking Dead family. And for 29 episodes, that dog was there. So I had to do something for it. I had to pay tribute to a Walking Dead star, and it's the name of the show.
That's it. Rest in peace.
Yes, all dogs go to heaven, right?
And humans go to hell, right?
Most of them.
Highway to Hell. That song sums it up for everybody on Earth.
So thank you, Kenny, for being here. Yes, Kenny's got a tear for Seven. It is a sad story, because when you think about all the animals that have been on TV shows, they do have a family, and that family is very large because of the following of the shows, so they all mean something. And, I love animals.
Real quick, Ron.
I love animals more than people. So,
Ron, animals, seriously, I was and I got to say this, back in the 80s, a lot of the outside animals, we had dogs, the huskies and all that. Now, being around a lot of family members that have animals inside their house, it's a child. I mean, it's everything to you now. It's totally changed over the years where, rescue dogs, they help you. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to tell you, an animal does make you happy. Cat or dog. I'm telling you, when people have these, I didn't really believe this because I don't have any pets right here because I travel a lot. But Ron, the feeling you get when a dog or a cat rolls up beside you and lays on you while you're watching TV, it's that sense of love.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, when I was younger, when I was a kid, I had a dog, Smokey. A mutt, right?
It was a mutt. Time out. How did you name it Smokey? Give me the idea. honestly?
Because he had like different colors, and it just kind of like,
I thought it was Smokey and the Bandit. I thought you were going to go with
no,
that.
no, no, no. But he was a mutt. He was collie, shepherd, and probably some other stuff. And when he barked, he howled. It was
Oh,
the greatest thing, greatest thing. And let me tell you, I spent so much time with this dog. He lived for 16 years. And I remember one Christmas, um, my dog is there, and my little sister at the time, she must have been, I don't know, 4, 5 years
mhm.
old. He ate a bone out of my sister's hand, right? A little dog bone, like a, milk bone.
Yeah.
And she wanted to get it back. She stuck her hand down his throat to try to get it. And that dog never bit her, just gagged and, you know,
You kidding me?
no bite,
Wow.
reflex, nothing. Nothing. This dog did so much for this family. I remember one time shooting a hockey ball up against the steps in front of my house, and my dog is there, right?
Yeah.
He's just sitting there watching. And my sister was walking her baby down the street. And then 2 dogs came out after my sister. My dog sprinted down that street, took a beating from these 2 dogs just to fend them off so she could get out of there. That is what an animal does for you. You'll never experience the loyalty and the love from anything like it. When you have a pet, that pet acknowledges you.
It will. It
And
will
those are
protect you.
some of the stories. I could go on and on with stories with this dog. And and it was
Well,
heartbreaking that day. My mom had to put him down because he had arthritis, couldn't see, couldn't walk. It was
man.
it was hard. It was
All right.
hard.
So I got to tell you a dog story real quick. When I was about 5 years old, my parents bought German Shepherd. You know how, remember the paper delivery boys used to drop it off?
Yep.
Well, the dog decided to go after it and bit its ass and had about 7 stitches. So there's my story. Dad had to go to the hospital, pay the medical bill. And yeah, the dog just came in our land and grabbed
Yeah.
on.
They are.
Maybe that wasn't good training on my part. I'm only 5 years old, so I blame my mom and dad for that training.
Yeah, well, it is.
But back in the day,
mom and dad's fault.
but how many dogs, all joking aside, like when you had the paper delivery boy or girl, the dog would always go like bananas about that. Seriously.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
now
I know.
even my friend works for UPS. He has like all kind of dog treats for all the dogs when he delivers stuff. Is that crazy?
Yeah,
now?
that's a smart thing to do because
Yep.
you never know.
No, because
You
you're invading
never
their
know.
territory. You know that. When you open that gate up and drop something off, you're in their territory now.
Exactly. I love the story. That spawned up some great talk. I love it. And now, Rick, you got a story about TikTok and how it's a news source, which is kind of appalling if you ask me. I think
You
this
know
is
what?
very scary.
It's crazy now. Okay, so 1.5 billion users a day on TikTok. 1.5 billion a
Jesus.
day. Is that like insane? Like seriously, it's crazy. So here's what's coming down to it now. The sources of the news. We're going to talk about this next week, but cable, nobody's getting on there watching the weather and the news now. I mean, my parents still watch the news. They're getting a source 5 hours later. Everybody's on a social platform to get the news. So now TikTok, all the news sources are going on TikTok to push all the news. But here's the bad thing about it. Some of the news out there is so fake news. There's so much. I mean, Pat McAfee is I love him from Pittsburgh. He gets so much fake news all the time. I seen one of his people's like talking about, I mean, it could be inappropriate. I didn't put that out there. People's putting stuff out there and people are believing it. So people are loving the news, the good news and the bad news. So what's the truth? But guess what the end of the day is? We're in entertainment business. Everybody wants to be entertained.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, I hate to say it, Captain Ron, but it's like if something happens bad about you, people want to comment about it, When there's praise, they're like, it's okay. Like Tom Brady's speech. It's like, okay, great. But if something happened in the news and somebody did something crazy, it just goes viral.
Yep.
But these people in TikTok, I mean, I love TikTok, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to get my news source from there. I mean, I'm going to take it for a grain of salt because it's people like just regular people saying this is the source. Did you do any fact checking with this?
Yeah, and that seems to be, very important nowadays because look, the last 10 years or so, it's been a little crazy.
Your life is out there for the world to see. You know that. There's no private life anymore at all. You could go to a restaurant and just try to be private. Somebody will take a picture, crop it with you, somebody else, and put you out there, dude.
Well, it's just like when Becky and Mike were talking about Temu.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, if Temu wants to watch me, then they have issues. So if they want to do that, I'll give them something to see.
Well, here's the thing is, though, after this show, get on your cell phone. My cell phone's right here. It'll talk about TikTok. Everything that we talked about right now on our show is being recorded on my phone right now, even though it's off. Is that crazy? It's wild.
Yeah.
We are being listened to all the time. So Temu doesn't scare me. I mean, you just got to embrace it. You can't be scared about it.
Yeah, I don't care. They can take all the information they want. What are they going to get from me? Nothing.
But yeah, so TikTok, I mean, I could ask you, Ron. So are you on TikTok?
The show is, Rhode Island Broadcasting is, but not very often.
So you're not a swiper? You don't sit on there for like an hour and just swipe through videos and laugh?
No.
I was at a restaurant last week, me and my friends, and it was a quiet Italian restaurant, and this guy was laughing his ass off. You ready for this? I have to say it. He's swiping. I look by and I said, what's going on? He's like, oh, these TikTok videos. He's at a restaurant swiping instead of worrying about his meal. And he's these outbursts of these TikTok videos. I'm thinking, this is what's coming to. Like, dude, like you're at a restaurant. You don't even know what you're eating. And you're just laughing at these TikTok idiotic videos.
I think it's brainwashing. All of this social media stuff is brainwashing people. And we are becoming dumber by the minute.
Well, the thing is, though, everybody wants likes. Nobody wants to work. What do you? I'd rather just be on TikTok all day, right? And get swipes.
Yeah, no, it's true. Nobody wants to work anymore. Everybody wants to be the next star, on TikTok or IG, all
and
of that.
What's funny is, though, the stupid stuff makes it, right? If you just get on there and you try to be educated with a shirt and tie, nobody gives two craps about that anymore. It's, it's like, you're there and a cow kicks you in the ass. You're like, oh my God, that was so funny. And you start laughing and it gets a million views.
All we have to do is just do a show about that, right? On Rhode Island Broadcasting.
You want me to go on the farm? I'll go on the farm next week, start milking some cows. Woo. I'll drink the milk too.
We got some plans for you. You're going to be jumping out of planes.
You got to pay me to drink that milk straight out of a cow. Ooh, that.
I hear that when you milk a cow, it's very hot.
Yes, and it's yellowish. It's like almost like a urine color. And you have to, when you go down, you have to go to the sideway. You don't go straight down or go. You got to go a little sideway.
Yeah.
Be gentle.
Okay. I'll take your word for that. I'm not going to be milking any cows anytime soon. I'm not going to milk a cow. All right. So we got the story about Bratz. Oh, I'm loving this. Apparently, well, it is true. Andrew McCarthy, former Brat Packer.
Yeah.
Right? He's got, I guess, a documentary kind of movie on Hulu right now. And they basically talk to all the Brat Packers about, their time then and now. And so they've had just about every one of them on. And when you start looking at the list of all these Brat Packers, now I don't remember this many people being in it, but it seems to be pretty large. And I know there's some people in that photo that I'm not even mentioning, but according to what I know, Brat Pack consists of Emilio Estevez, Rob Lowe, who doesn't look like he aged at all since then.
No. Well, I had little Botox too.
Molly Ringwald, right? Demi Moore, of course, back then it was Demi. Now it's Demi,
Yeah.
Somewhere in the 90s, I think she changed it.
Little branding.
Yeah. Andrew McCarthy, of course. Anthony Michael Hall. Judd Nelson. Ali Sheedy, who was one of my favorites.
Oh.
I had a thing for Ali Sheedy for some reason. I don't know. Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man was part of the Brat Pack.
I got to tell you, Iron Man, real quick, was he jacked in that movie?
He was so
dude.
good.
That was one of his best movies ever. I mean, that was badass. Like when the Iron Man song comes on and he's like just jacked. Oh,
one of the best superhero movies. Period. Love him. Apparently John Cryer was also part of this Brat Pack. Who knew?
Where the hell was he at on there?
I don't know.
Honorary mention.
But so they had all these people on the documentary, except Judd Nelson, who said he had a prior engagement, so he couldn't be on, when they were filming. And Molly Ringwald turned it down. That's interesting.
Molly's Molly. She's turned a lot of stuff down. You know that. She has her own ways of doing stuff. And you know what? And hey, good for her to keep her stance if that's what she wants to do. In my personal opinion, I'd take my pride and go because you know what? You're part of that. You're going to miss out on that. I don't want them to do something that I'm labeled with without me in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I'll tell you, want to know what her best movie is? It's not 16 Candles or anything like that.
Pretty in Pink? No.
No. It was The Stand, the miniseries.
Oh, yeah.
The original one, not this one that they showed a couple of years ago that was crap. It was the original one. And Rob Lowe was also in that movie. And it was fantastic. One of the best, definitely the best movie on that was for TV, especially back in the days, it was fantastic.
One that should have been in there with the group is John Cusack. I thought he should be, but he just stand by himself, right? Because he's so powerful in the 80s.
Yeah,
wouldn't he be part of that? He had the best movies ever. One Crazy Summer, Better Off Dead.
Oh, Better Off Dead. That's what the people. I want my $2.
Dude, I might watch that today, man. That is such a classic. Oh,
no,
God.
he's a very good actor, and he's been pretty much doing his own thing. He's got like a different style of movie that he plays in. It's I don't know. It's kind of weird. You can't really place it, but it's like, he has, all these movies that make you look at things differently, and they have a different way of presenting the movie, and he does a lot of that kind of stuff. And I'm surprised he's not in this Brat Pack thing. So,
they were so big back in the day. Come on. Breakfast Club, all of them. It goes on and on. They carried the 80s for 5 years. They had
St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, and you know what's great about it? All the music, Ron. The music, the theme songs were incredible.
Oh, absolutely.
When you think of the one with Breakfast Club, when you hear that, in the beginning, that's like, dude, you think Breakfast Club. And St. Elmo's Fire has its own theme. It's like this.
Yeah. Sick. John Parr did that song, the theme song. I had the 45.
Look at you. You know what? Yeah. Wasn't it crazy back in the 80s? And we're going to talk about this later, but all the theme songs were so good. Like Miami Vice. You'd actually play that if you had a car or something and drive down the road because it was so cool.
Yeah. Kenny said his sister was funny too. Speaking of Joan Cusack.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yes.
She?
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sure you know her. She's been in a lot of movies. Lots of movies.
You know another one. Here we throw this out. How about Elizabeth Shue? Nah? You don't think she's been in that group?
Yeah. Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh, my God. Is that
one of my favorites? Love Elizabeth Shue. And in Cocktail.
Oh, yeah. Cocktail, of course. Oh, then Karate Kid.
Yes. Karate Kid. So she's been in a lot.
There's a list that could go on and on for all of them.
She had a good look.
She did have a look, but then she was like that perfect, schoolgirl, for all the family movies, and and she was funny too.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, she was. She was. So, that's so Bratz is on Hulu. You can check that out. Nice little documentary piece for the Brat Pack and
and did you say, Ron, we're gonna
see where
get
they
Molly
are.
on? Molly's gonna come on the show here, right?
I wish. I
Molly,
wish.
Molly, if you're out there, come on the show, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
That'll be like a 2-hour episode, right?
could be. Could be. However long she wants to be on. So
She could be the host, right? She could just run the whole show.
yeah, yeah, of course. All right, so we have some 80s stuff, right? So
Yes.
speaking of the Brat Pack from like the 80s, now we turn to Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh my,
from the
we are
80s.
going back, and I think we're gonna do a special like this, Ron. We're gonna have to get it a name like the '80s Vault or something. Rick's picks of going back in time, like the time machine. Because look at this. I
I
mean,
have all my gang down here.
there is the gang of super friends. I'm telling you what, and it takes back because you get your cereal, you get in front of the TV, you don't get back at a couch. You're sitting on the floor, like inside the TV. Am I right? Like on the big old 27-inch that weighed 4,000 pounds that your
Yep.
uncle had to lift up the steps. But some of the 80 cartoons, and this is one that shocked me. I mean, He-Man, like He-Man or not. Do you know He-Man was only on from 83 to 85? That was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, not
And,
very
and
long.
look and look how long of
I didn't like it.
it was okay. I'm telling you one I liked Smurfs. I love the Smurfs.
Yeah, that to me that signaled the downfall of Saturday cartoons.
What, the Smurfs?
Yeah.
Why?
Started
Okay,
in
go ahead.
1987, if I'm not mistaken.
Smurfs were in 81 to 89.
Oh, really? Oh, see?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
why
I
didn't you like
did
the
not. I
Smurfs?
was not a Smurfs fan. In fact, that kind of told me, oh, Saturday cartoons are changing.
Okay, so
I was, in the 80s, so I was like 14 to 18,
mhm.
when 1984 came around. And so to me, the glory days was the 70s cartoons.
Which
When
let's
you
go into
have,
them.
I used to love stuff like Wally Gator.
How about this one? Hong Kong Fooey,
Hong Kong
number
Phooey
one super guy. He goes,
was
yeah,
my boy.
Hong Kong Fooey. Yes.
I loved it. Loved it.
I used to get a tube sock, Ron, and tie it around my head like Hong Kong Fooey.
Yeah, he would. I can't believe that he hasn't gotten any respect after all these years.
Do you think they would come back with a
revitalize that.
show or a movie? That Speed Buggy was another great one.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
And you feed
Yep.
it?
There was a lot of those 70s stuff that I absolutely loved. Of course, Flintstones has been around forever. Scooby-Doo, Bugs Bunny, those are the ones that I loved. Not once did I try to drop an anvil on somebody's head after watching Roadrunner and Coyote. So all this crap that they tried to feed everybody, that they're too violent and stuff like that. Tom and Jerry. I mean, come on. These are great cartoons.
And they all had lines like beep, beep. You knew what that was. If you just
Yeah.
said beep, beep at church or anywhere you go or anywhere, it's like
Yep.
Roadrunner. It's like, they know what's going on there. Scooby-Doo. Okay, so let's get to Scooby-Doo real quick. Did you know as a kid that Scooby snacks what they really were?
Well, I had a suspicion.
Because of smoke coming out of it. So my mom and dad's let me watch this. Meanwhile, smoke's coming out of a mystery van.
Yep.
They're pot smoking, having fun. I'm like, why does Shaggy always want Scooby's dog food? Zoinks. I mean, you got to give the, Hanna-Barbera or whatever created it. I mean, you got to give him credit. I mean, it's incredible how they created Scooby-Doo with a twist on the hipster.
Of course. And they would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those kids.
Yeah, I know. And then like Flintstones. I mean, there's the one-liner too, Yabba Dabba Doo, right? I mean,
oh yeah.
Actually, Fred Flintstone was a hard worker, didn't he? He put some time in at work, man.
Yeah, and it's when I remember watching the theme song right away, right? It's so catchy, and it was made for kids to listen to, right? and you see the big ribs tip over the car and everything. That show was so good. It was basically the animated version of the Honeymooners.
It was.
That's what it was. And it was so good, and it stayed on forever. It's probably still going to this day because it's just so perfectly made, right? The characters, you have to like somebody on there you're gonna love. So all those cartoons made back in the day were so good. And now it's just, I don't know, it's just fluff.
Well, you know what killed it was the Cartoon Network. Love it or not, it killed the Saturday morning cartoons because that came out and you can watch it anytime you want. I mean, I remember getting a recorder, like the tape cassette, and recording like Scooby-Doo or something like that by the TV, putting a little microphone up there or the little, and just like watching over. And you were so excited to get up at 8 o'clock. Like kids don't get up at 8 o'clock anymore. Like the movie. The good cartoons were 8 o'clock to like 10:30. Then then they started getting like Mr. T and Hulk Hogan. They had them spinoffs. Everybody had a cartoon then. It was like,
right. Yeah, it was terrible. And I was a huge Super Friends fan. I used to love that, and even like when they had the twins, on there, and it was just great, watching all the villains and the superheroes going at it. It was great. It was great.
Did you say just great? Now, what's that sound like? Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, great.
Hey, here's another one. Laugh Olympics. Remember that?
Oh my God, the Laugh Olympics was the best. The best, hands down. The best. The Scooby Doobies, the Yogi Yahooies, and the Really Rottens.
They need to bring that back as like a movie, don't you think? And make that a real life characters.
I'd be there.
Oh, and put like some like Adam Sandler and put some different people in it and just like throw it together with some like.
Oh, it would be fantastic
comedy.
Because that was so awesome. And the Really Rottens would cheat at everything. And you never knew who was going to win that week because they all tasted victory.
Who was the host with the microphone? Which cat was that?
I don't remember.
You know what I'm talking about, right? The cat?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. Oh Jesus.
So many good ones. How about, okay, I know you didn't like this one. One of the biggest ones was Jem. Remember Jem?
Jem?
Jem, Jem. The girls that were playing in a
Jem.
Jem, yeah. Don't judge my accent, man, from Yinzers. No, I'm just joking.
No, but I didn't watch Jem. Sorry.
No, that one. Garfield?
That's terrible.
Okay, were you Garfield or Heathcliff? Because you couldn't like them both. There was two of them. You know what I mean? Heathcliff and Garfield.
I'm going to tell you a little secret here. I hated both of them.
Oh, don't like cats.
Did not like. No, I like cats, but I'll take Pink Panther. And Snagglepuss was the best cat.
Snagglepuss was the best.
Stage left. Let's get out of here, even.
Well, getting back to Scooby-Doo, remember Doggy Doo or the Dumb Dog? What was it called?
Oh, Scrappy Doo and Scooby Dum.
You could never do that now. You could never call dog Scooby Doo.
No, you can't. You can't. That would be a no-no.
And that's when Scooby Doo started getting like a little bit like off character. Then they were going to like trying to keep up with the trend with the Scrappy and Scooby's friends and all that stuff. It was okay. Here's another one. Good one.
Introduce new characters because they felt it was getting stale, and to me, they should have just brought new writers in instead of going that route. Because then, now you're really diluting it. Because I didn't like those years. I thought Scrappy Doo was annoying.
He was. I liked when he came in like as a cameo in the beginning for some of the shows, but then they had his own show. You know that?
Yeah, I know.
And it was like, and then the uncle had his own show. It's like, oh God, here we go. How about Thundercats? Remember that?
Yes, I do. That was with the puppets, if I'm not mistaken.
Thundercats, no.
Oh wait, no, that wasn't. That was Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds, yeah.
Thundercats,
they were like a branch off of He-Man and like almost that same kind of like feed. You know what I mean? But
I don't think I watched them. I don't think I watched them.
Okay, a couple more before we get out of here on this is Muppet Babies. I'm not gonna lie, I was a Muppet Baby fan. I know you weren't.
Yeah, not me.
Not
Nope,
Ninja
not
Turtles.
me.
Remember when
Nope.
Ninja Turtles first came out? I mean, no.
Nope, I didn't like them.
Wow.
Hard to believe I'm one of the few that don't like the Ninja Turtles.
And how about the real Ghostbusters? Do you remember when they came out the cartoon?
Yeah, I didn't watch that either. I was already later in my life.
Later,
Oh,
you're like,
then he says Voltron. Do you remember?
oh,
Voltron?
that was a good one. Okay, so Captain Ron, I got to test you. So on Scooby-Doo, did Fred and Daphne date? Were they boyfriend, girlfriend, or no?
I don't think they were. I mean, they had a lot of bizarre references, but I think that was, back scene kind of thing, the adult humor involved.
And did you notice the only time that Shaggy would drive was when they're in trouble, right? He never got the wheel much, did he?
No.
Why?
No.
Because he was stoned, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really the secrets behind Scooby-Doo, man. It's like, you got to love it. Like, I think of all of us Scooby's, is there any other ones out there that stands out in the 80s that you loved?
No, because like I said, that was the for me, the downfall of cartoons. So I only watched it for like a few years in the 80s. Like I said, I watched cartoons more in the 70s. And, so it was, once they started bringing up all this like He-Man, Smurfs, and, Thundercats and all those things, I didn't want to watch any of that stuff because it didn't have, it wasn't like Deputy Dog,
Oh,
It wasn't, like all those, like Yogi Bear and stuff like that.
Okay, I got one now. It's coming out. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I know that.
Dun,
Oh
dun,
my
dun,
God.
dun, dun. It has the hand. Dun, 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 dun.
What is that? What is that?
One more time. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, I'm not going to get it.
Inspector Gadget.
Oh, Inspector Gadget.
Dude, you got to love Inspector Gadget. Come on, Captain Ron.
Yeah, he was good. You know why? Because it was Maxwell Smart. That's why you like it, because he was hilarious.
Oh, that you can watch them over and over again. And they had a meaning behind them too. You know that. They had like a little storyline.
Yeah, it was basically Get Smart cartoon version, but they made him into a robot. That's all it was.
It was.
So that's a great topic. I love it. Could talk
I'm going
about
to show this real quick, Ron. Look, this is coming up in a future episode. It's a honeycomb license plate from 83.
Oh my God.
We are going to do that someday. The toys of 80s cereals coming up in the near future.
Oh.
You're like, oh boy.
Oh.
Maybe I should put this on my car right now.
Yeah, we're going to move on to big box office battles. When I first thought about this, I was thinking of doing a semi top 5 kind of thing, right? But then it gets so interesting, and when you start looking at, how great a movie is, like we all know Barbie was like the #1 movie last year for sales and stuff like that. But when you think about it, what did it really go up against? Oppenheimer?
Yeah,
like that. So that doesn't really do it. So I went back and I got, a few movies back in the day that went and won the box office for the year. But when you win against a competitor that is that good, that's when you know you have a blockbuster. So I went back in 1987.
Ooh.
Beverly Hills Cop 2 was the box office winner.
Love it.
Right?
Come on.
Like Eddie Murphy, right? Do you know what it defeated?
87 would be Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing. Like Dirty
That's my
Dancing
favorite
is
movie.
this movie that, appears to be like, wow, right?
Larger than life. Yeah.
And Beverly Hills Cop 2 beat it.
You got to be kidding me. I did not know that.
Yeah. A little further back, 1984, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was the #1 movie of the year. 1984. Do you want to know what it beat?
It beat Ghostbusters.
It beat Ghostbusters.
Dude, I'm an 80s buff, ain't I?
And it beat Gremlins, too.
Oh, that's right.
Gremlins big movies. That's how big Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was.
It was pretty big, though. I remember that. I mean, they had McDonald's cups, everything. It was
Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford, part of that, that thing where he had like 2 epic series, Star Wars.
You got to admit, the special effects in Indiana Jones were incredible, weren't they?
Oh, I love that movie because that's the one with Short Round. Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones.
Yeah. And then you know what's funny is Beverly Hills Cops is coming back now.
I know. I can't wait.
But guess what? It's not going to the box office. It's Netflix.
Yeah, right? I know.
Is that crazy?
But I'm still going to watch it.
Oh, Axel, come on. I can't wait to play that song again. The Axel F song.
The third one of that series was god-awful.
Oh, yeah. Where was that at? Because the second one was Playboy Mansion and everything in Beverly Hills and all that. Remember he's in the pool at the Beverly Hills Mansion? At Playboy Mansion.
The third one was at a theme park.
Oh, yeah. That was awful.
That was terrible. All right. 1993, Jurassic Park.
Ooh.
#1 movie. Fantastic. Love the movie. Love the movie. I still watch it. I've seen it a million times, right? Do you want to know what it defeated in the theaters?
What is it?
Do you even know?
No, 93. I kind of lost.
Well, it was Harrison Ford, but this time as The Fugitive, which was a fantastic movie. Fantastic movie.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't think The Fugitive was like that high in 93.
Yeah, no, it was. It was big. 1994, The Lion King, #1 movie, right?
Of course.
Animated.
Disney classic, for
sure. Which movie did that defeat? This is amazing.
You can't picture because that whole summer was Lion King. Ron, seriously, who else would be around?
Forrest Gump.
Okay.
That's a blockbuster of all blockbusters, right?
Oh,
and
Forrest Gump
shattered it, right?
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
And here's a great one. Wow, this is the ultimate battle, right?
Yeah.
2012, The Avengers. Massive, right? Which movie did it defeat?
I have no clue.
Dark Knight Rises. That's the third one in the Batman series.
Man, yeah, wow. There goes that man again. Man. Come on, man. That's crazy.
Those are the ones that I decided were the best 5 matchups. So if they were like duking it out, that would be hell of a fight.
So this summer, what are you predicting? Any? I mean, we both haven't seen Bad Boys yet, so we can't review that. But all I could hear was it's pretty off chart.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I hope so. Look, I mean, this movie's got to boost Will Smith back into the limelight, right?
It will, but it'll fade. I mean, we know what happened. The slap will never go away. The one slap killed a career. Isn't it crazy how one kills a career? And it's of all people, Chris Rock. And all I can say about Chris Rock, class act, dude. He did it right.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's become a big star now.
Well, he's with Adam Sandler in that group. What did they have a nickname? All them guys that hang out together and do all the shows?
No, I don't think they do, but they should.
We need to give him a nickname and maybe push it out there.
Yeah.
Grown-ups.
Sure. That was a good movie, by the way.
Oh, God.
I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, so, when you're talking the box office, I mean, I went to see If. If was fantastic. So I really hope that, continues to do well. I don't know what it's doing in the box office now. I haven't looked. But I imagine, imaginary, I imagine it's doing quite well because it's still in the theaters. So I thought it was very well done, and I like the whole premise of that story. So that should do well. I'm hoping Horizon does really well because it's hard to make a good Western.
Yeah.
But it can be done. I'm hoping this is going to be a great one. Like I was telling you earlier, Open Range with Kevin Costner was fantastic. If you want to see the best gunfight in any movie, Open Range has it.
Mm.
It's so realistic. It's incredible. What a gunfight it was. Tombstone is my favorite of all westerns. But when you start looking and breaking down these westerns, a lot of them kind of leave you flat and are terrible. A lot of the newer ones, like I'm going back a ways, obviously Pale Rider,
Yeah.
That's great. And I think of 310 to Yuma with Christian Bale. Excellent movie. But a lot of them, like the one with Jamie Foxx, was it? I can't think of the name of the movie, but I didn't like it.
I'm called.
Django.
Does Three Amigos count as a Western?
Three Amigos? Of course it is. Of
Or
course
just
it
funny?
is. It's a comedy, like Blazing Saddles. A comedy.
Oh my God! Another great
Which you couldn't make that movie today.
No.
Couldn't
Go on.
make that one.
So Ron, okay, so I got to ask you. So behind the scenes, when you go to movies, are you a matinee kind of guy? You have to go at nighttime. What is it?
Well, it depends on what kind of a movie I'm going to see, because like if you're going to see don't go see like a 5-6 o'clock movie because there's going to be so many kids in there. You're not going to be able to really pay attention. So you gotta choose the times wisely. I've always liked it when I had a day off during the week. I used to go and see like a 12 o'clock movie because nobody was there.
Mm-hmm.
During the winter hours and stuff like that, because nobody was there. Summertime, a little different because now you have no school, so you'll get a lot of those teenagers, and teenagers are the worst. I can deal with the 5-year-old crying in the theater. I can actually deal with that. But when the teenagers are in the theater,
they're on their cell phone.
It's awful. Yeah. It's awful. So I like seeing them later on. I like seeing a 9 o'clock, 9:30 movie, so that way you have more adults are there than kids. So
are you a popcorn guy too? Popcorn.
Oh God, yes, absolutely. Have to have the popcorn. Gotta have it.
Now, do you ask for fresh popcorn? Like if I go at 9 o'clock, you cannot have that old popcorn at the bottom, man. I tell them to make me some fresh, and they will too.
See, now it's not like that. Now they have this machine that you do it yourself, right? So they put the new popcorn on top and it just keeps going through. So it's always rotated, which is a good thing. So I've never had a problem with the popcorn the way they do it now. But the more time goes on, the more we're doing their job for them, and we're not getting paid for it.
But I got to tell you,
more.
The seats are incredible now, aren't they? Leather, heated seats, recline. Remember back in the day, they were like stadium seats. You sat there stiff the whole time.
Yep. It's a total different story now. It's very comfortable. Very comfortable. So, I mean, Rick, we just went through everything, and we're almost done.
We are almost done. I tell you what, tomorrow's a big day. Can we give a shout out for the fathers out there? Happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? Can we go real quick? Father's Day. For me, it's taking my dad out and maybe a gift card. Number one thing is gift cards. Lowe's, Home Depot. Every father likes a gift card, so that's a big one. Another big one, outdoorsman. Anything outdoorsy, you know what I mean? Like Bonairs, if they're into hunting, stuff like that. Brewmasters is on the list. A lot of
Oh,
people, yeah, a
now
lot of
we're talking.
get your father the brewmaster. They could be in the basement making some brew, right? Homemade brew.
Yep. Yep.
And speaking of brews, real quick, do you know who comes out with a new beer now? You ready for this? I think it starts next week. Hulk Hogan has a beer called the American Beer.
Oh, come on. Oh,
Hulkamania doesn't leave. Hey, he's down there. I think at the Hard Rock Cafe in Florida, and he's actually going to have a big promo and and everybody's going to sample it. I think it's called the Real American Beer. The Real American. You know, like
yeah, because Hulk Hogan is the real American.
Hey, Hulk Hogan, what are you going to do when the largest arms in the
You know,
world run
brother.
out on you? Yo, brother. Instead of saying man, I should say, yo, brother, what's up? And the last one is
You're
PGA.
running wild.
That's another one. The cartoon was awful, but in the 80s, I had the workout. Remember the workout toy set you could get, the Hulk Hogan one? You put the water in the weights. Do you remember when you could put water or sand in the weights?
Nope.
When you lift the weights? Yeah, it was plastic, and you have a hole there, and you dump the water in.
Okay.
But yeah, so Father's Day,
He
enjoy
marketed
it.
himself pretty well, considering all these years.
I mean, he's got to be, 75 now, right? I
But
mean,
we all know who made him. Sylvester Stallone made him.
yes.
And he also made Mr. T. In the same movie, he made those two huge stars in Rocky 3.
And this is the guy that we could talk about someday that actually almost didn't get that big break. You know that.
I know.
Unless he didn't. I mean, Rocky. I mean, Sly is my favorite actor. His story
I
about
love
the Rocky
Sylvester
thing,
Stallone.
that could be another segment because, man, that brings tears to my eyes because, dude, no rejection in that guy, man. He was like straight up, I'm in it, script, everything, man. I don't care about the money. I'm in the show.
Yep. I think
that's
he's
it.
awesome. You ever watch Tulsa King? That's a great
Yes.
series. Oh, so good. So good. Tulsa King.
And he's still in good shape for his age. And he's like 70, what,
Oh,
8?
yeah. Absolutely. He
Oh,
has
by the
that-
way, he's on TikTok now with his daughters. It's funny. His daughters are busting his butt on TikTok. They make fun of him all the time. Like
he's
they're like,
got a
Dad,
TV show with them.
huh? Yeah.
Family Stallone or something like that. I mean, it's funny as hell because, here he is, this macho guy, and he has all daughters.
And they're trying to dress him up and make him like he's like, no.
It's so great. I love it. I love it. Gotta love Stallone. Oh, my God.
Oh, there it is. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, baby. Oh, yeah. You know, Hulk Hogan doesn't drink anymore. He got married again. Did you see that documentary? He's totally clean off everything now, and he has a bar and a bar and a restaurant in Tampa, Florida, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, he's been around for a long time. 80s. He's still kind of relevant.
And he wears I think he goes to bed with that and showers with his outfit on. The yellow and red, the Hulkamania.
Probably.
Yeah.
He can't get the wrestler out of him.
Which, why would you at this time? I mean, you've been doing it for 50 years. And,
right.
He's like a superhero, basically. I think
right.
when he walks on the street.
If he's out there without his Hulkster uniform.
Yeah, you call him.
It's like somebody from Kiss being out without the makeup.
And you go up to him and say, hey, Terry, can you sign me an autograph? He's like, Terry? Who's Terry? I'm Hulk Hogan. It's like, seriously, can you imagine having that as your dad? Like, you're sitting there watching cartoons and he's dressed as, what's your dad? My dad's Hulk Hogan.
Yep. So we gotta start to run out of here. So if you love the show, you'll want to come back to on Monday when Rick returns with Mike Palmer.
Yeah.
And they will be running the show. Mike is fantastic. Can't wait, for more from him. And Rick, we're going to be doing this a lot next week as Becky is in Vegas. And hopefully she'll be able to join us sometime. But
we got to have a live with Becky. Becky, clip in with us a little bit. Get that live out there.
Yeah. So it's been an unbelievable show. We love it. But Monday, next show, going on daily. We'll see you then. I'll be behind the scenes. So come back. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Kick, and everywhere else. You'll be able to find us. I had a blast. Rick, thank you for being here as
All the time,
always.
brother.
And we'll see everyone on Monday.
Enjoy your weekend, my friends.
Oh, absolutely. Take care, everybody.